There's this one saying I always share with my best friends. It's, I used to be a really nice guy until I started a company. And it's like half true and half not, but it's funny because I think it's true. It's when you start a company and when you truly create something out of nothing, inevitably the competition comes. And when the competition comes, it's impossible for you to always just be the nice guy. As much as someone might want to tell you that, in reality, in the real world, it just doesn't work that way. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be a terrible person. It doesn't mean you have to be an unfair person. It doesn't mean any of that. It does mean that you need an edge. And when it comes to the competition, you absolutely need to have an edge. Now, I was in the space of sales engagement, and I was also in the space of marketing automation. I founded ToutApp, and in both of these categories, they were incredibly competitive spaces. They still are today. So I was forced to actually embrace competition because I never really liked competition, but I was forced to actually embrace competition. When I did, the years where we really focused on enemy number one, our biggest competitor, and looked to take them down, those are the years we did some of our best work. But at the same time, I also learned the hard way that if you obsess too much over the competition, then you can actually get distracted. I learned that the hard way too. So over time, I developed a bit of a framework on how to think about competition, on how to compete, and how to make sure that we use competition to actually propel ourselves forward and serve the customer better. In this episode, I'm gonna walk you through the 5 steps to actually analyze your competitors and understand the dynamics around the plays that they're running so that you can rise above, beat them, and grow your SaaS business faster. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you are new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon because I drop a video 2 to 3 times a week with actionable strategies with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this channel, if you're already a subscriber, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. Now, in my journey as a SaaS founder, the nearly 15 years that I've been in the SaaS industry, I learned 2 things about competition. First of all, like number 0 is I learned to embrace competition because it was a good thing. And so the first thing I learned is that when there is competition in SaaS, it's actually a good thing. It means that there's multiple companies going after solving a problem. It, in a way, validates the problem you are solving. If no one else wants to be solving the problem that you're solving, especially in the early stages, then chances are maybe it's not that important or urgent of a problem. So in a way, now I always look for the competition because if the competition is not there, then maybe it's not that great of a problem worth solving. The second thing I learned is that when you're thinking about competing, ultimately, you have to learn not to obsess about the competitors. It's very easy to actually get obsessed about it, and it can actually distract you, and that's happened to me before also. What you have to learn is that ultimately, your biggest competition is you. And you have to keep beating yourself from yesterday by getting better and better and better and better and better. And one of the best ways to actually learn how you can improve, to get better, is to actually analyze your competitors. And so I started to create a discipline around competition after there were some competitors I just couldn't beat and there were some competitors I did beat. I started to learn like, look, I can't let it take over my life. I can't lose sight of the customers, they matter the most, but I can learn a lot from the competition. So I started to create this 5-step framework in which I did some research on how other people do it and I codified it in a better way. But this framework I started to follow where literally I would set aside time once or twice a month where I would actually light a candle, go woosah, and actually dig through and understand the competitors and what they were doing, make notes about it, and then reapply it to our core growth strategy to make sure that we were able to compete with them in an efficient way while serving the needs of our customer. And that was one way where we just kept getting better and better and better and better and better. Now the question is, how do you actually analyze your competitors? So I'm gonna walk you through the 5 steps that you can follow to actually analyze your competitors. If you're ready to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And let's go to the first thing that I do when I'm looking to analyze my direct competitors. The first thing that I do is I go onto LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn actually has these things called company pages, which I'm sure you know about. And you have to be a premium LinkedIn subscriber, and I highly recommend you do that. It'll come in handy in more ways than one. You can actually go in and go to the company page. You'll actually start to really quickly understand what are the jobs that the competitors are hiring for? Where are they putting in their money and their resources? Are they hiring more for marketing, more for sales? Are they looking at partnerships? Are they hiring more developers? It'll also tell you what the composition of the company is. It'll show you how many employees they have and how they are distributed by function. And what that'll tell you is what they value. Like, what is the thing that they're putting in more dollars into? Do they have 2 engineers and 50 salespeople? Do they have 50 engineers and not enough salespeople? This will give you clues into how to compete with them and what their mantra is, what their modus of operation is, to help you understand how you can actually compete against them. These are just simple pieces of data points that'll help you understand where their people are, where they're putting their money, where they're hiring. And this alone can help you understand what they truly value internally. The third thing that I also like to do is I like to look at the CEO's LinkedIn pages, and I like to see how many connections they have, what kind of content they're sharing, are they engaging with other people? This helps me understand just what kind of traction is there. Are they consistently updating their LinkedIn and putting out content about their customers? Are they actually connecting with other customers? Are they just kind of dormant and dead and they're not even thinking about it? This is super important because all these pieces help me understand where are they putting in more of their efforts. Are they kind of heads down building more features? Are they looking to really expand and they're going full force with a scalable go-to-market strategy? Are they like hiring in the right places? It just gives you a good overall view about what's going on with that company from the outside in. Because every single little activity they're going to be going through LinkedIn, and that's why you can start to understand what's really going on in their heads. So that's step number one. I like to actually light that candle, put some time aside. One thing you guys don't know about me is I always keep like a little legal pad. I have like a whole stack of legal pads where I just take notes. So I like to make notes as I'm going through each of these steps so that I can really start to understand and coalesce around what I think their strategy is and where they're putting in the most effort. Okay, so step number one was LinkedIn. So step number two is I want to start to understand what kind of ads they're running, because I kind of have an understanding of like the overall, like what they're putting out there on LinkedIn. That's the number one B2B network, so it gives me an idea. But I want to start to understand, like, are they advertising? Where are they advertising? What's their messaging? So the second thing I like to look at is I like to go to Facebook, and I like to go to their Facebook ad transparency tool. So Facebook back in 2016 had to commit to providing transparency into their ads. So they have this tool where you can go in and type in the name of any advertiser, and it'll show you all the ads they are running. It's super easy, super powerful. I'll link to it below. So you can literally go in and type in the name of your direct competitor. You can type in your own company's name for all that matters, and you can quickly see what kind of ads they are running. What this helps me understand is how this is, and maybe they're advertising on Facebook, maybe they're not, but Facebook makes it easy to look at them. So I always start here. It helps me understand what is their messaging, what is their positioning, how are they targeting, what's their offer, how are they speaking to our target market and trying to get the attention of people. And very quickly, I'm able to get some data points on exactly what they're doing. The other thing I look at, if possible, is if you can go to their page and look at their posts and look at their ads, and you can start to see the comments and the likes, you can start to get an understanding of overall sentiment. How are people receiving that message? If it's got no comments and no likes, then chances are like it's not really hitting, maybe they're wasting their money. If it's got a bunch of likes and a bunch of comments and they're not angry comments, then maybe it's working really effectively and gives me an idea of what type of messaging is resonating in the market. Now, granted, this is only Facebook and your competitor may or may not be advertising in Facebook, but the truth is, a lot of B2B SaaS companies, which you probably operate, and your competitor is one also run on Facebook. We run ads on Facebook, so it's a great way to understand what's going on. So that's step number two. So I've got Facebook and I've got LinkedIn. It gives me a bunch of data around the company, and I haven't even gone to the website yet, which will come later, but there's very specific ways to look at that website. We'll get to that. Step number three is I like to use a tool called Ahrefs. It's ahrefs.com. I'll link to it below. Basically, you have to sign up for this. They have like a $7 a week trial. You can just start with that and then cancel if you don't like it. I highly recommend it because it's great to understand what market demands are. And so there are two key things that I love looking at. Basically, you can go to Ahrefs and type in the domain of your competitor. And you can then click one of these two things. You can click top pages. The top pages is going to be the top pages on their website that are being linked to from everywhere else, that are being found through search terms. And it'll actually sort it by amount of traffic. And so when you actually sort by this, what you'll be able to see is what are the most popular pages on their website? What are they spending SEO dollars on to actually rank for? What keywords are they ranking for? And if they're getting traffic, chances are they're smart enough to actually convert that traffic to real revenues. So you can start to understand what the market is really searching for and then stumbling into your competitors for. Now, if they're smart, what they'll also be doing is they'll be taking those keywords and they'll also be bidding on those keywords as well. So chances are they'll also be running some pay-per-click campaigns through AdWords. And with Ahrefs, you'll also be able to see what their ads are. So just like with the Facebook transparency tool, now I don't know if Ahrefs is completely perfect, but it's pretty good. So you'll be able to go see in what kind of AdWords ads they're also running, what keywords they're targeting. And again, it will give you a good idea of what they see as the biggest opportunities in the market. So that's step number 3. Let me just pause here for a second. Even with these 3 steps, are you starting to see the power in this? Now, remember, competition is really ultimately with you. You need to be getting better every single day. You need to be getting better and better and better and better and better. Now, by looking at your competitors in this framework that I'm describing to you, you're actually going to be able to learn about opportunities to get better. What is super important is that you do this in a methodical way, you take notes, and then you compare it to your core go-to-market strategy and see how you can improve. What you don't want to be doing, here's the thing that you don't want to be doing. What you don't want to be doing is just knee-jerking your way to, well, they're running ads on this, let's go run ads on this. They're doing Facebook, let's go to that. If you keep reacting to what your competitors are doing, then chances are you might be making the wrong steps for the wrong reasons, or you might be doing something that is not even working well for them. This is super powerful because back in the day when we were in deep war with our competitors, we used to put fake stuff out. I knew their founder would just copy our stuff all the time. So I would put fake stuff out there just to throw them off. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, we would see it on their website. So it's super important for you to understand that this is not about just copying what they're doing. It's to actually take stock of everything they're doing and then comparing it on how you can incorporate it to your go-to-market strategy to test it in the right way and see if it works for you. If you're starting to see the power in this, now we have 3 more of these, but if you're starting to see the power in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? Also, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. Now, if you are building out your SaaS business and you're scaling your SaaS business, but you don't have a cohesive go-to-market strategy yet, where you can take all these pieces and plug it in and start to understand, like, well, how do we iterate on ours and how do we scale ours more? This is exactly why I created my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. There are over 70 founders in the program already, and we're growing very quickly. So if you are interested in actually building your scalable go-to-market strategy, I'll tell you more about it at the end of this video. I'll link to it below, but right now, let's go to step number 4. So let's recap real quick on where we've been. We've been to LinkedIn. That's step number 1. Step number 2, we've been to Facebook. Step number 3, we went to Ahrefs. I'll link to this below. Step number 4 is now you go to the website. Now, chances are you've already gone to their website before, right? I got it. Like you went to their website, you looked around, but I go into the website looking for some very specific things that I'm looking to understand. And the next time you go to their website, you should do the same. The first thing you want to understand is what is their messaging and positioning. Start to get a feeling for what's like the big value prop that they have. What's their big narrative that they have? What is the doom and gloom that they may be pitching? Like how are they driving urgency? That's super important for you to understand. And when you start to look at the website, start to parse those pieces as you look at your competitor's website. The second thing you should look at specifically is what is their sales motion and what is their pricing? Do they have a free trial or are they sales driven? Are they publishing their pricing or are they keeping it behind the sales process? Is their pricing higher than yours or is it lower than yours? These are all things you should start to take note of because chances are one of your prospective buyers, by the time they discover you, they may also discover them and they'll be going through the same process, but except they're gonna be on the receiving end. And what you're trying to do is really understand what is the persuasion they're driving to get the customer to go with them instead of you. So you wanna keep an eye out for these very specific things. Other things you should also look at is what are their lead magnets? Are they offering a lead magnet? Do they have like a PDF? Do they have a manifesto? If they have a manifesto or a lead magnet, go sign up for it. There's no shame in doing that. It's completely public. It's nothing nefarious. Just go sign up for it. Maybe you don't want to put your company email because they'll probably block you. Put your Gmail address and sign up for it and start to get a feel for how they communicate with you, in what way, and what do they ask for, and how do they drive you? Are they driving you to a trial? Or are they driving you to a sales process? These are all inputs that you can use to start to understand how your competitor is operating. And based on that, you can then go to your go-to-market strategy and think about how you can make yours better and better and better and better and better. The last piece I always like to look at is I go to their blog. I always say this, the blog is sort of a window into the soul of a company. Whatever they're blogging about, chances are like that's what they're really thinking about. And if they're blogging about nonsensical things, that means they don't have a strategy. And so I would go look at the blog and look at what are they publishing? How much engagement is there? And are they publishing it in a consistent way? And all of those things will help you understand what's going on in their minds, which gives you even more insight into their world. So step number 4, go to the website, look for these very specific things: messaging, positioning, sales motion, pricing, lead magnets, and the blog. Super important. Once you've done all of these, there's one last place that I like to go. And this is something that I do actually these days. I don't have a direct competitor. I mean, I have competitors, but they're not really direct competitors. The world is big enough for us. So it's a little bit different. But when a company applies for the GoToMarket program, I like to go look at these things for that company as well to see if they're a fit, even before I get on a call with the founder. It helps me understand like where are they in their GoToMarket maturity. Sometimes they're too early for us. Sometimes they're too far along for the GoToMarket program, so they have to go to the scale program. So it helps me. So I follow this even today when I'm digging into understanding a company as well. I also get hit up by VCs all the time saying, hey, what do you think about this company? We're looking into them. You're in the MarTech space. So I go and follow the same process. You can use it in different ways to really understand the essence of a company. But step number 5 is once you have all these pieces, I also like to go to G2 Crowd. My friends over at G2 Crowd have built an amazing platform. I've been fortunate enough to know them for years now, the co-founders there. So you can go to G2 Crowd and you can look at the specific reviews around that SaaS business. You can also look at what market segment are they better at. It may be that you have a direct competitor that's going after a different market segment than you are, and that's okay. And that's an opportunity for you. It may also be that you're going after the same one, and then you can learn on what their weaknesses are. Because a lot of times with these reviews, they're not always 5 stars. So you can start to understand where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, and how you can actually incorporate that into your core growth strategy to rise above them. Okay, so this video has gone on for very long, so let's start to recap, all right? Here are the 5 steps to actually understand and analyze your competitor. This is my competitor analysis framework. Step number 1, go to LinkedIn and look into the specific things. Number 2, go to Facebook, use their ad transparency tool, look at their comments and likes. Number 3, go to Ahrefs and look at their top pages and keywords. Number 4, look at their website and look for these specific things. And number 5, look at G2 Crowd. Now remember, what you don't want to do is just copy what they're doing. That's dumb. It will lead to failure because I bet 100% of the things of what they're doing is not working. So you won't know which one's working, which one's not, which one's an experiment. So what you should do is make notes of this and then go compare it to your go-to-market strategy and then start to figure out what experiments you can learn to actually iterate on yours to make it better and better and better and better and better. Because ultimately, the competition is you against you. You want to get better. You want to beat you from yesterday. And you want to use clues from your competitors to make yourself better every single time. And that's how you rise above and win. Now, if you're at that stage where you don't have a go-to-market strategy, if you don't have a scalable go-to-market strategy, this is exactly why I created my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. Inside of my SaaS go-to-market coaching program, we actually help you flesh out your ICP. We help you develop your strategic narrative. We call it a manifesto. And then we help you deploy that through key channels where you can actually scale that go-to-market machine and actually generate more pipeline, generate more trial users, rise above and close more deals and actually beat your competition. This is all encompassing. This is everything I've learned from the last 15 years of being in SaaS. I put it all into this program. We have over 70 founders on the program now. We have more and more founders joining. It's an incredible program. And so I invite you to actually check that out and apply to join. If you feel like, I want to figure out these things, but I still need that cohesive, scalable go-to-market strategy, then the go-to-market program is for you. All you need to do is just go to tkkader.com/GTM. Go to tkkader.com/GTM. You'll get all the details in the program. At the end of the page, you can just type in your email address and you can apply to join. You'll answer a few questions and then we'll get on a call. The reason we do this is we want to make sure that we can actually help you. We can't help everyone. We want to help the right size of SaaS business, the right stage of SaaS business. So that's why we ask you a few questions. And then once we get on the call, we'll work through where you are in the SaaS business. I'll have a few questions. And then based on that, we'll make you an offer to join. And then we're off to the races from there. So we'd love to have you in the program. If you feel like you're at that stage where you need to build that scalable go-to-market strategy and machine and rise above the competition, just go to tkkader.com/GTM. Also, if you got value from this video, we put a lot of love into these videos. We put a lot of content into these videos, so they're actionable. Please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I also drop an episode like this 2 to 3 times a week, every week. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified when I drop the next episode. If you're part of a Slack group, a WhatsApp group with fellow founders, please share this video with them. It'll mean the world to us. Every founder has a competitor, and they should have a proper way to dealing with competition. It doesn't lead to burnout. That doesn't lead to you freaking out. It doesn't lead to you having sleepless nights. And that's how I overcame this. I created a structure around this. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode.